if Jeff don't shut when it comes time to tribal and all these competitions, you are going to be getting an immunity idol. But what comes with that immunity idol?
And an immunity idol.
And yes, an immunity idol, an immunity, whatever, same idol that's going to save your life, whatever idol it is, okay?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Survivor 47, episode 5 on the Royalty Podcast. Before I introduce myself, I would like to introduce Eric Abraham from Survivor 41. Thank you for coming, Abraham. And I am your host, Big D, aka Derek F.
I'm your host, Tiffany Mitchell.
And Abraham, please tell everybody where you're from. I know I gave you a little brief bio, but I want you to go into it, okay?
First of all, he gave my whole Social Security name, but that's okay.
Didn't he?
I know. I was like, I ain't heard that name in a long time. Well, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, East Point College Park. That eliminates everybody that's from the outskirts. Single mom, raised us up in there. 2 brothers. Spent my summers in a little town called Manning, South Carolina. So, and got a chance to join this crazy reality community being on Survivor. Season 41, after the pandemic. Got a chance to go out to Fiji. We ain't gonna talk much about that because they did me dirty, but that's all right. Served the military for 22 years, retired from the Air Force. I currently live in San Antonio, Texas. I am now in cybersecurity and I work for the Veteran Administration.
Oh, we'll have to talk after that.
Yes, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I do. First, I want to say, Abraham, thank you for joining us. Thanks for supporting. Thank you for being here. We'd like to have someone who has actually played the game come in and help us recap, because me and Big D, you know how it is when you are watching something and you go, well, I could have, I wouldn't have, they should have, but we all can say could have, would have, should have, but we've never really been there. Well, we played the sister game of Survivor, so we kind of think we know what to do, but I'm glad that we've got somebody here that actually has played the game.
Yeah, I had a refrigerator.
And another thing you failed to mention, you have your own podcast. You have your own podcast too.
I do share a podcast called Survivor.
Okay, and how's
podcast.
that coming?
It's a great podcast.
Okay.
I'm really supportive of anybody out there that wants to build something. And the young man that built this podcast, Randy Bruce, built Survivor Podcast on his cell phone. And he called me up one day when I was on the show and said, hey, would you like to do an interview? At that time, I wasn't even familiar with podcasts. So I did the interview, was happy to do it. Then he said, hey, would you like to do a podcast? That's when we was doing stuff on Zoom. And I was like, okay, well, let me test this out. You know, now I got a mic, I got a green screen, 5 different platforms on Survivor Now Podcast, Survivor Social, Survivor Stockwatch. We also captured Survivor Australia, Survivor South Africa, and last season was Survivor
South Africa? There's a Survivor South Africa and Survivor England?
Let me tell you something. Survivor Now Podcast be out there in them streets. So, yes.
Wow.
So, with that side of the world, we actually get to interview everybody that gets voted off and the winner of those seasons.
That's amazing.
Wow.
But I can't take a lot of credit for it. I bring the Survivor to it, but Randy Bruce actually is the one that's been building that podcast from the ground up. And we got a great team of folks that come out there. We talk about Survivor. We talk about other things, social issues. But it's interesting when you get to meet somebody in South Africa playing a game of Survivor. And they be like, hold on for a second, we got a rolling blackout. A rolling blackout, you know. So, or you got somebody that's from different parts of Africa that's on that season. You get a chance to talk to them and get to learn a little bit about their culture, learn why they want to play the game of Survivor. So it's an interesting mix, but it's great to be in this environment to meet so many different diverse people. It's no different from meeting Tiffany and knowing your story as a single mom and raising your son, or maybe Big D at an event and seeing how y'all lives have deviated or changed or come together, because we got to do the social media. We got to do this reality world stuff here. Tiffany, last time I saw you, we was doing Hearts for Reality that year, giving back to the kids that, you know, need more. They're either have a health condition. So that was a great opportunity. Derek, the last time I saw you was in New York. I knew you said you were going to bring me on the podcast. I was like, I'm just going to sit here and wait. Derek's going to get me.
I told you I got you. I'm
Was
so
that
sorry.
at the premiere of BB?
No,
No, we did the finale.
It was
Finale last year.
It was finale for Survivor. I did not forget. I told you I have literally a list, and I'm like checking it off, and I'm like,
what you don't remember is when I met you in Canada.
oh my God, I was drunk in Canada.
You know what?
He didn't even remember he was in Canada until you just told him. He said, I was in Canada.
Oh, yes, we were at the club. Oh my God, Abraham, you were there for the whole shenanigans.
He just remembered.
Oh my
Tiffany, if you cash
God.
at $5 right now, I'll send you all the information I got on it.
Hold on 1 minute.
Oh, it's so bad because that shit was wild in Canada. Let me tell you something. Canada is a special type of trip. Like, you have to be ready for all of it. Okay. Wow. Okay.
You know what, Abraham? I know you want to get into this episode, Derek, but hold on, because you made us hurry up and join, and I didn't get my talk out. Yeah, anyway, so Abraham, the reason I said I wanted to talk to you is because my son is, he's looking into majoring. He wants to do aviation, but he is like a computer whiz. He's in AP computer science. He's looking at majoring in computer science, and he's looking at cybersecurity. And I keep hearing that's a really good field to go into, and so I was kind of trying to get him to go into the Air Force, but I got to ask him again if he would consider it. But I do want to talk to you later about your field and see what your thoughts are about it.
Let me know.
Right now. I just
actually, it ties into Survivor.
Okay.
When I told you before is I actually was in the Air Force for 22 years. My background in the Air Force is HR. And I spent 7 years as a college professor teaching HR. I got out the military and went into cybersecurity. So, and when I went on the show, I was specific in telling them that I was from cybersecurity, not from the military.
Yeah.
So if you see my stuff, you won't see the military. You might see the burp in my bio. But ultimately, I said, hey, I want to be represented as a black man that's in cybersecurity because there's not that many in our field. And I'm not saying that the military is not important or wasn't important to me, but I want to represent the next chapter, and that was the next chapter for me.
Okay. I look forward to us talking more about this.
Oh, just let me know.
Derek is like, okay.
No. This is where I love. This is what I'm saying. This is why I love this podcast, because I know we're always here to talk about Survivor, or Big Brother, or Traitors, or whatever reality shows that we cover. But I love bringing the reality, like you said before, Abraham, in the beginning, like this world that we live in, these reality people together, because you never know what connections you have, or networking, or just understanding where someone's from, because some people might not know any of us. So when they come on, they're like, oh my God, that was so interesting. I didn't know this. That's why I enjoy this. Don't think I'm just like, oh, come on, let's get to it. No, let's talk about it, because like I said, cybersecurity is very interesting to me. And I work in that department as a director. That's one of my degrees that I tell students to go for, is cybersecurity.
One more thing, and I know the subscribers, they always get on me. Tiffany, let somebody else talk. Tiffany is always interrupting. She thinks this is her show.
It's ours, but yes.
Abraham, before we hit record,
we are recording.
I know, but before we started recording, you were getting ready to talk about, could you play Big Brother? And I want to know, what were you getting ready to say about that?
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, crazy Gemini.
So
I didn't say that out loud, did I?
What the world? All the ones I know are good. Here's the thing.
No, I love Geminis. I love Geminis, but I do note that they're...
I think that just like Survivor, because that's how we do it, because we got beard money. I think that one of the things I've seen, that now that I've watched multiple episodes of Big Brother, is I don't know how long my patience would last. I don't know if dirty dishes or other people's behavior is going to be something I'm going to be able to set aside for that long and be able to excuse your behavior as something that's normal. Because what may be normal to you is kind of indifferent to other people. And I don't know if I can last that long without telling somebody, hey, you ain't took a bath in 5 days. What we doing here? Or you not eating? I saw Azza, and I seen some other folks, and they was like, hey man, you do some things that is cool in your house, but in this I don't know if I could go that long before I even had to cut somebody out. To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 30
You would have
days.
done great in our season.
It's a long game. Even just having to live in the house for that long. Watching these last few seasons, I was like, this is too long.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's like looking at paint dry sometimes. I'll be like, in the live feeds, no.
So we actually just, in case you didn't, I probably didn't tell you, but this season we actually did not cover any of the live feeds. We only covered the show, and it really did help us be organized, and it also helped us mentally because it's just too much, too much. But I will say this, Abraham, you would have done great in our season because we weren't playing. We were cooking and cleaning, and we would have
been in the cookout.
That's what I'm thinking about.
You would
I
have
would have
done
done
great.
great.
I'd be like, I made a cookout.
Yeah, you would have done great. Yeah, we were getting them together.
I'd have helped vote everybody out, man. Just put me in the cookout.
Yes, it was only one person I could say out of the whole cast that had a dirty HOH room, but everybody else had a great HOH room. Like anytime we went up there, it was not crazy. It was only one person, but
Let me tell you something. I seen Tiffany on the challenge, and they had stuff thrown all over the place. I was like, it ain't summer camp, but
look at her. She'll say,
I'm gonna say two things about. Oh, go ahead.
I want to say because I told Derek before we started taping was y'all did something iconic in your season of Big Brother. I don't think it ever is going to ever be repeated again. I think they had the right people together at the right time that it just worked. I just don't think you can go back and do it again. So I applaud both of y'all for being. You will always be known as a cookout in the sense of what y'all did for not only yourselves but CBS. Bringing something together that CBS, hey, y'all can't control how we was going to narrate this, and y'all did a hell of a job. So thanks for all that.
Well, on your season,
thank you.
You guys tried to do a little something similar, and that was before us, right?
I think what happened with our seasons were, the way they taped them, I think I was gone. I think we were already taping in Fiji because I didn't see Big Brother until I got back. But here's the problem.
Yeah.
I think CBS kind of, in 41, since it was coming off the pandemic, they kind of overdid it. And instead of saying, we had super diversity. We didn't have a little bit of diversity. We had everybody covered. There was nobody that wasn't covered on our season. I was like, who in the world put all us together? But you're also coming off a pandemic where people just kind of sitting around for a year and you want to get back to work. You want to get back to this crazy thing called Survivor. And looking at season 41 and looking at season 47, they've really built on it. Because to me, season 41 was a trial error. Everybody in that season should get to play again. In 49, they should say, we're bringing back everybody from 41 and 42. We're going to let y'all play against each other. Because there was so many things that had to be worked out. Where Big Brother is an establishment. Y'all were already up, running, and y'all still did something amazing within that context. Because I didn't know, did any of y'all know each other before Big Brother?
No.
Okay, so that's... Hey,
No.
you might be skinned, but you ain't my kin. So,
I think if we knew each other, I think things would have went a little different. I think things would have went a little differently. I'd have been like, I ain't got time for that. I know she good outside, or he has good outside this house.
We probably cannot ever play a game together again and stick together. No, it's not happening.
I always say this. It can maybe be two of us, maximum
but
three.
Not all six of us.
But not all six. There's no way.
No,
There's
Kylan
no way.
gotta go. X gotta go.
Correct. And then that's okay. You can say me. That's fine.
Yeah, I was just about to. To me, I can say you. I was just about to.
Look.
All right. Let's get into it, guys, because I know we could be here all night talking about us. I also love your shirt. I need your shirt, Abraham. I need your shirt. Wherever you got it from,
you got a wife. You my husband. You ain't nobody's daddy. What are you talking about?
I need this shirt, okay?
Nah.
But, okay. Have you been keeping up with this season? I mean, of course, I feel like you have. What is your thoughts so far on this season? We would love to know.
First of all, I like to say production, thank you for just keeping it fresh in this new era of Survivor and always keep us guessing. I tell everybody, you can play the game of Survivor all day long, but you can't determine how the people play. And looking at these different groups of people that's come together, they've really set the tone for a good season 47. Even at tonight's episode, people that I thought I would have voted out on day one have basically mastered the game. So as you look at the growth of the game, I'm going to give the production their credit where credit is due. they've started to put together a good recipe, having people tune into Survivor. You know, when we're out at these events, I am shocked to see how many people, even when I saw you in New York, I am shocked to see how many people come out on a Wednesday night to support Survivor.
Yeah.
And give Ozza credit because she puts on a show as well for Big Brother. And
yes.
people ain't got no jobs on Wednesdays, but you out there.
Yeah, the CBS fans are amazing, and we're so appreciative of them because they give us all these platforms, all these podcasts. They support them. Anything we do, they support. If we're like, hey, we're going to do a egg race, they'll be like, we're all there. We're there to support you for the egg race, and they will come and fly and buy their ticket and everything, and we appreciate you guys.
Well,
now,
one
I
thing
want to
they
ask.
want to know is when we gonna do a cookout because you ain't
That's what I was
did
going to
that.
say. We are thinking. I got to talk to Ozza, but I think we should really hold an actual cookout where we invite all the POCs and everybody's welcome, of course. But it's a cookout, and we'll invite everybody to come to it and actually do it next summer somewhere that would be fun and feasible and affordable for everybody. Now, I want to ask you about your favorite player that you were talking about earlier, Abraham, because I know you and him are like best of friends, as you told me. You guys talk to each other still on the phone. Rome.
First of all, that's not what we were talking about. We was talking about, the way I presented it to Big D was, when we talked about it last week, and they were asking me how I felt about what Rome had done to Saul. In my mind, I'm thinking, did I read the whole contract? Did I read all the pages of the contract? Because I'm trying to remember what that HR briefing was about. And if I drag and Brad here, how long were production before they catch me? And, am I going to be off the show? Can I hold him down with one knee on his head? I mean, you got it, because, we read a lot of stuff before we on the show. You're trying to make sure in your mind, what can I get away with? Because I've already committed to it.
If I bury a hole and if I dig a hole and he fall in it, am I liable?
Because here's the thing, as I was telling Big D, is we got personas in a game, but that's not who we are for a whole person. You're just seeing a piece of who we are. So you might not know that if the longer you irritate me, the more I'm gonna say this is just a game, but I see you need to be taught a quick lesson. And I'm not gonna hurt. I met Romy person, so I know I'm gonna get him. So that was already gonna be a known fact. Secondly, okay. I ain't gonna hurt him.
It's okay.
But he gonna need a little oxygen mask, just a little something to get some breathing back into him. Maybe a couple of
I love it, Abraham. Great. Okay, I'm gonna get into tonight's episode. Tonight's episode was called the Scale Be Tipping. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna cut right to it. We're at Lavo Tribe, the red tribe, as I try my best to tell our viewers. We go by colors over here. Okay, we're not experts like you guys, okay, Abraham. Teeny is trying to do damage control with Rome. Rome is very upset to know that Teeny was a part of this plan, but she tries to let him know once again, I didn't have a vote. But he's like, why didn't you tell me? So she's just trying to clean house and trying to just, sweep it off, because she's like, hey, I don't really know what to tell you, but yeah, tell me.
Survivor is the pettiest game ever. Ooh. And people use whatever little bit of pettiness to cast that vote your direction. So, but Teeny had already did something last season when she voted for Sal. So she kind of set herself in the bottom of the tribe position by doing that, because she felt bad for voting somebody else out. I'm like, we're in a game of voting people out. It's going to be 17 people voted out of Survivor, period. No matter how you do it, 17 people are gone. So you got to go in the game thinking that part as well. Rome is kind of like a loose cannon, but in our neighborhood, we be all right with him. But in this show, he kind of rubs people the wrong way, and he has to figure out what his lane is. But Teeny, I think Teeny's gonna get voted out because she's playing a game with her heart. We'll put it that way. And in the game of Survivor, they really don't work out too well for you. Big deal with this.
I had to fix my light. It was
okay. It was making some noise in the background.
I'm so sorry.
We just gonna wait.
So
we gonna wait while you fix your light.
I'm so sorry. Okay, but I agree with that. TD for the future. TD for the future is going to be a little bit of, going to have some problems for sure. I definitely agree with that, and I definitely can see that. I want to cut right to, because we get right into it. We pull up to this obstacle. There's only 2 colors. There's only 2 different lanes. And Jeff is like, we're playing a new twist in Survivor. So at this moment, I thought it was going to be them merging into 2 teams. But Jeff lets us know straight up, hey, we're just going to play this little game that you're playing for a reward for the sanctuary.
First time ever done. They've never
First time
this.
ever done where you guys are going to play on 2 different teams, but you're still going to stay in your tribes when you're done. But you're going to celebrate and get the sanctuaries with the team that you win, which will include hot dogs and, if I'm correct, what else will include it?
I just saw
cornhole, and this will give you a chance to talk to players. This will give you a chance to talk to players before the merge, which I think this is a great advantage. What do you guys think about this? Do you?
First of all, let's talk about that food right quick. Stop.
Yes,
wait,
yes.
we were going to get to that. Wait, save that thought. We're going to get to that. But what do you think about this? What do you think about this, like, this idea that, hey, you're going to mix these teams up, and then if they win, they could talk to each other before the merge? Do you think it was a great twist?
I think it's a great stone to throw in there to shake things up a bit, because a lot of times people don't get to have that opportunity to know what's going on, or a possibility to know what's going on in each tribe until the merge. You might get a journey where you and a couple people talk, but this was like a big group thing.
It's
I 100% agree with you.
Survivor's played in 2 parts: before the merge, after the merge. The problem before the merge, you don't know how much of your tribe is going to be left that's going to make it to the jury to award you $1 million. So you got to kind of play the game and say, okay, I don't know who's going to make it, so I'm kind of keeping a last with everybody. I like the fact that they threw it in the middle before the merge, because now you got people going, they got to sit down, because here's what happens. It bodes well for some people, and it don't work out for others. Because people like to overshare because they think that is what's going to get them in the in crowd. And as we seen them play, it didn't. Because you got too many people thinking they know how to play the game of Survivor. Here's the X factor of Survivor. People. It's not the game. Jeff said, hey, we're going to come up here, we're going to do this challenge. If you win this challenge, you get to go off and you have these, somebody was a vegan, so there's some vegan hot dogs. And you're thinking back in your mind is, I get to socialize with
regular
the other
hot
tribes.
dogs.
Yeah. What you fail to realize is somebody is going to overshare. Somebody is going to say something they should have been keeping to themselves. And somebody is going to sit back and just I'm just going to sit back and watch and see what happens. The game has already been known is reward is not always the best reward. Sometimes you need to lose. So you don't even have to worry about it. Just suffer through it and keep it moving. And we see it where you have these tribes are now combined. They all get together. They all get to talking. And the first thing they want to know is what's going on in your tribe. That's a double-edged sword. Do I tell them the truth, knowing that somebody on my tribe is going to make it to the merge, and they're going to be able to revalidate or use it against me? So I got to be cautious of how I use that event.
Would you have wanted to win this with the team? Would this have been something that you would have wanted to win?
Hold up, Tiffany. First of all, I'm a competitor. If I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose because I'm dead on the ground and they dragging me off. Let me tell you how messy Jeff is. I call him Messy Jeff because Jeff does some messy stuff.
Same here. I always be calling Jeff out all the time.
Jeff will not tell you how much something weighs. If you go back to my season, you'll see there's a part where I grabbed 2 sandbags. The reason why I grabbed 2 sandbags is because Jeff wouldn't tell me how much them sandbags weigh. And if it wasn't for TV, I'd have threw that other one on the ground and said, let me just do this one. So when they're dragging that stuff, it's heavy. And it's not light heavy. It's real heavy. It's dirty. And you out there like, all you had to do is tell me to weigh 100 pounds. At least I know how to manage it. So I applaud everybody for the challenges. But it's a rough and brutal challenge. And you don't really get to see the exhaustion at the end.
No, I definitely, and that's one thing you got to take into consideration because, even with a lot of these comps and how the edits are, you are right. You don't see the exhaustion. And I know those comps are hot, out in the sun, hot sand, everything, bugs, all of it. I do want to cut to who wins this. They do got to carry this. They first got to get the puzzle through the ladder through this puzzle. And then once they get to the end, they got to shoot these balls into these like 5 different hoops. Okay, kind of like
move
basketball.
Back each
Yes.
each
That's a
ladder.
nice twist. I like that
further.
twist.
Yeah.
Yes. The team that ends up winning is Teeny, Carolyn, Sam, Rachel, Kyle, Tiana, and Sue. I was very happy for this because Teeny going into this, her whole tribe looking like they were kind of looking at her as the next target, and I also always want to protect Sue. But we get to the sanctuary because you mentioned something, Abraham, that I want to make sure we talk about. Okay, we get to the sanctuary. It is hot dogs, a vegan hot dog, whatever. Okay, these hot dogs, and please correct me if I'm wrong. These damn hot dogs, when they put them on the oven or whatever, the grill, they did not fucking grill those hot dogs. Those hot dogs were not cooked. You cannot tell me they were not cooked. They were not cooked. They still look pink.
They had TV. First of all, who was grilling over there? Here's the thing. I want to give a shout out to Fiji because Fiji actually has real food. We had real food that they could have just prepared for them instead of saying, hey, let's go out there and cook something. Who really wants to cook a hot dog when your hands is dirty? Your hands dirty. You've been dirty all week. I don't really want to cook a hot dog, but I'll eat with my dirty hands on Survivor.
I told Derek, I said they were warm. They warmed those hot dogs up. They were hungry. They probably didn't have time to burn them like we like them burnt. They only had time to heat them up, and then they was probably starving. Like, just give me the warm hot dog. Matter of fact, just give me the hot dog. I have eaten a cold hot dog before, okay?
Here's the difference between Big Brother and Survivor. There are things that you do not want to eat. You may be hungry, but you don't want to eat it. It's gonna cause you. It's gonna cause you some long days. You're gonna be like, I should have just skipped that. I should just skip that.
I'm cracking up.
Ain't no TP in the house up there.
I believe it. I believe it. So, of course, they, like you said, everybody comes together. They start asking, hey, what's going on in your tribe? Now, I want to first start, okay? Sam does set herself up. I'm sorry, not Sam. Teeny does set herself up to let everybody know she's at the bottom. She really doesn't have anybody who's really, working with her. Like, she's setting herself at this poor, poor story, okay? But Tiana on the Blue Tribe, a.k.a. the Tiku tribe, okay, TK, ends up telling them everything about Gabe and how Gabe is running and how Gabe is the man is running everything and how Gabe used his idol. He found his idol and she is spilling everything. And mind you, she also has 3 members of her tribe there, which was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life to do. Because it's like, if you feel like, I wouldn't feel that comfortable on Survivor if 3 people were there. Maybe 1, because at least 1 we can go back and forth and say, I never said that. Prove me wrong. There's 3 people to say, yes, you said that. Now, do you think that was smart for her to do or no? What do you guys think? I don't know.
Tiffany, what you think?
I mean, I think that you have to know when to hold them, when to fold them, like when to speak, when to listen. And you have never worked with these people. You're just meeting them. I understand building the relationships and everything, but I don't know about just going in, giving up all the information, especially like Derek said, when you have 2 people from your tribe that can say what you said,
It's what's funny is you wouldn't do it in the real world. You wouldn't gossip in front of 3 people at a job. So
that's true.
Yeah, you should
why
treat
do
it
you
like a job.
that?
Wow, that's really smart.
Yeah, why would you lose that on Survivor? Here's the thing about it is you don't know who's talking to who. So when that's the backdrop, but you had 46, you had 6 seasons to look at other people do the same mistake. So why didn't you look and say, okay, you know what? If I go to something like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share something that no matter who repeats it, makes no difference. Hey, we got some people that are looking for stuff. We got some people that's out there, they're a little more aggressive to what we're trying to do. I would never give a name. No. I said, hey, I'm not going to give you a name. When you get there and we do the merge, then we can talk about it. I give you something to look forward to.
Amen.
Because you don't know what Sue's agenda is when we find out that Gabe is her number 1.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
she ran back so quick.
You don't like somebody.
Yeah. Tina the same way.
You don't like someone or don't want to work with them doesn't mean that other people feel the same way. And I'm a firm believer in, if I say something, I need to be comfortable. If I can say something once, if I have said it once, best believe I am ready to say it twice and thrice and fourth, okay? So I ain't never said nothing that I ain't scared to repeat again. So when you go out there and you start telling people stuff, like you said, you need to make sure that you are comfortable repeating what you said.
And I mean, even with Teeny and her style of playing, you're trying to paint yourself on the bottom. Well, really, you kind of paint yourself as a target for somebody else. It was like, okay, there's a reason why you're on the bottom. And here's where the merge comes in.
Trust you.
And at the merge, they're going to be like, okay, why does she think she's on the bottom? When you bring everybody that's left together, then you find out the real pieces to the puzzle. So until then, you kind of say, I like this twist with here because now you force them to do things that they wouldn't do until a merge. And you kind of throw people on the bus.
I also would have looked at Teeny as somebody, like, I would have thought because her other tribe members are here and they're not speaking up or chiming in, I would have caught that. It would be different if all four of them are like, I'm sorry, Tiana. If Tiana was, Tiana. If Tiana was spilling all of that and the rest of her tribe is not chiming in or saying, yeah, and let me tell you, I would have been like, something's wrong here. I would have picked up on that because that would have automatically told me that they don't feel that way. Something's going on with you. But they cut back to TQ's tribe, okay, Blue Tribe.
Something else that happened there is that Sue brings up to Sam that everyone thinks that him and Sierra are really close. And this is like the second time that this has come up with Sam and Sierra. And it's like, you know, he doesn't like that this is going around, but it's been going around.
He doesn't know first of all, he doesn't know how to use it. You got to use it to your advantage. Be like, okay, well, hey, that's 2 votes on my side for you. If you come through, there's 2 votes on my side. Let's go ahead. You'll be our 3rd vote, and all we got to do is find one more person. I was always a firm believer in the game that you got to get at least one ride or die. Somebody that y'all say, okay, we trust each other, and y'all build on that trust. Because you're going to need at least 1 or 2 other people to navigate to merge, and then once you get past the merge, Sam is so caught up with showing that we're not, that it's going to prove to people that they are. And then they're going to start running y'all out. So, who cares? No. I mean, at the end of the day...
Yeah, his defense is deny.
You can't here's the problem with denial on Survivor.
I agree with that.
You have so much time that's not aired on TV, you can't deny stuff. You're out there 24/7. You're not sleeping 8 hours, and all you're doing is talking to each other. That's why when people come off the game, they seem like they're so familiar with each other because we've spent all that time together. We don't have any phones. We don't have anything to talk to. So you're gonna talk to each other. You're gonna know about their whole life, their family, their upbringing, their kids. Everything is gonna be shared because you ain't got nothing else to do but to share.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We cut to the TQ tribe, the Blue Tribe. Sue tells Gabe that Tiana was telling all this information at the sanctuary. But Caroline comes up and she also, chimes in and explains, like, Caroline's like, I want to try to make this work because I really want these people to work together because if we have to go to merge, we need to work together. And she decides to tell, Tiana, but in a way of letting Tiana know, like, hey, she don't want her to know she's working with Gabe. She's just like, hey, I want to let you know you should apologize to Gabe because if Gabe finds out when we get to the merge, you're gonna look bad. It's not gonna be good. So then Tiana's like, okay, I guess so, but she really doesn't want to, but she does go and apologize to Gabe. But it was something the way that she was explaining to Gabe because she lied to Gabe, saying she only told 2 people. And Gabe, and confident. And the crazy part is that I love how Gabe, like you said before, Abraham, just listening. He's just like, like he's not giving her nothing. Yeah, because he's like sitting here trying to figure out what she's lying about. And then Gabe goes back, tells Sue what she said, and Sue's like, no, she said it in front of everybody. So now Gabe is like even more mad at Tiana because she lied.
First of all, Sue a dime dropper, and
I like Sue, but I like that I love that Sue's loyal. She's loyal to Gabe. If she's loyal to one person, like you said, you got to have a ride or die. That's her ride or die.
I don't think it's Gabe. I think that he's gonna force her to make a decision. She has a hidden immunity idol, so she's good for right now. Here's the thing with Tiana. I think Tiana used to fight in high school because she wasn't trying to apologize. She would, first of all, in her day-to-day life, I don't even think she bought that life. I think she bought that other life on the island because I was like, so or do you really want to do it, or you do it because you're playing the game? She did it because she was playing the game. But here's the thing: did your memory get bad? You knew who was sitting there. How did you omit all the rest of the people that was around you, and you told a different lie? That's when the game started getting kind of off centered, and you be like, can I really trust this person right here? No. Mm-hmm. That's when you say, first opportunity, I'm getting you out.
True. We get yes. Go ahead, Tim.
That's okay. Where were you going?
No, I was gonna say we get to the immunity challenge. Okay,
No. Wait.
We're up to them chickens.
Hold on. Yeah,
That's what I was going to talk about. The chickens happen.
Well,
the chickens happen at the immunity challenge.
I do want to talk about the immunity challenge, but I also don't want to leave out that while they were off at this, while Teeny was
Sanctuary?
off at her sanctuary, Rome was spilling everything to Saul. Rome goes over to Saul and starts telling him that he wants Teeny out, that Teeny has an amulet that she can use. She's he has decided that he should just tell Saul everything and make Saul feel like they're working together. He also tells Saul that, yeah, Genevieve wants to work with you, but she's told me not for the long term. So he is almost giving Saul this information like he's about to make Saul his number one with all the things that he said. And their tribe is already so small. It's like, and Saul already doesn't trust you. You guys do not have a relationship. You guys have not been on the same track. And just because he voted with you at the last tribe does not mean that he trusts you and that he wants to work with you. But Rome gives Saul all of this information. And then he goes to Genevieve and tells her that Saul wants to get rid of Teeny. And Genevieve knows that Teeny is Genevieve is like, well, Teeny is the easiest person for me to work with. When I think about the people that are left on my tribe, Teeny is the easiest person to work with. Rome is a loose cannon, and I don't know if she has any faith in Saul. She's like, I don't want to get rid of Teeny. Then Genevieve goes over to Saul to have a conversation, and she finds out, she says to Saul, Saul's like, yeah, well, Rome told me that you're working with me, but you don't plan to work with me long term. And she's like, what? Well, she's like, but obviously I didn't plan to work with you long term, and everybody knows this, but you're not supposed to know it. I didn't tell Rome to tell it to you. And so she thinks that she's giving him his dose of medicine, and it's like, yeah, well, Rome told me that you want to get rid of Teeny. Well, us, the viewers, know that that's not true.
Look, we got hindsight. Here's the thing with that. Genevieve is running that tribe, period. She runs that tribe.
And I didn't even know that. Like, when did that start?
She came out that last episode. She really popped up at the last episode. I was like, I'm still waiting for something. I was like, who's this girl on their tribe? She popped up last episode. She's running that tribe.
When you run a blindside on somebody, you running things. And here's the thing about Rome. Rome's been so self-destructive in his game style. He's an easy target. And here's the thing. Genevieve said it. If your threat meter goes up, you a threat. And she said, your meter's going up. Because now you don't want somebody to be so chaotic that when it comes time to actually making a decision and executing it, you don't know where they stand on it. And that's where Rome's fault he's putting himself into. Rome needs to merge to make it further in this game of Survivor. He's going to need a merge. Where had he just settled down, and Genevieve told, you're playing today as though we lost the challenge. We didn't lose a challenge. We just lost the reward challenge. We didn't use an immunity challenge. But you're coming at me like we need to do all this targeting. Sometimes less is more. Come back and be like, okay, well, I know we lost. Let's go sit on the beach. Let's talk about something. But he wanted to... There is pauses in the game of Survivor. People may look at the edit and think that you have to play every minute of every day. No, it's tiring. That whole thing is tiring. and you only got some coconut.
Same thing with Big Brother. Yeah.
Did y'all
We
talk
took
to each other
times.
all the time?
We did, but we did take time. Like, we took times to play games. We took time to not talk about game, and we also came up with, even though Tiffany was playing all the damn time, so there was no break for her. But there was times that we would say, "Hey, we're not doing no game talk today. Let's talk about life."
Did y'all play spades?
No,
We didn't have cards. No, we didn't have no games. We just played games like
made up
improv.
games
We made up games and stuff like that. Yeah.
Man, I'd have cut up the cereal boxes and made me some cards.
Oh, they would have took that right away. I'll tell you.
Yeah. We didn't have no scissors. We had no scissors. What are you talking about?
We got no scissors.
We only got So
got some.
I do want to get back to this. So then, when Teeny comes back from her sanctuary trip, Saul and Genevieve are so done with Rome that they immediately tell Teeny everything Rome did. As soon as Rome goes off into his little Rome water to pat himself on the back about the good job.
Not the Rome water.
Did. Yeah, he did.
Not the island, not the water name being Rome.
Yeah, the Rome. He said Survivor Rome. As soon as he goes off and starts doing Survivor Rome, Saul and Genevieve tell Teeny everything Rome was doing. He wanted to get you out, girl. He said this, he said this, he said that. So I'm interested to see at this upcoming immunity challenge who's going to win, who's going to lose, because I'm wondering how big Rome's threat level has gotten.
Oh, he's a threat. I mean, because here's the thing. He burned through all this stuff early. Steal a vote, gone. Immunity
for
gone.
sure.
That's the only thing that's really protecting Rome.
But I think he had to use that. I think he had to use the immunity, if I'm correct.
No.
He had to.
The way his was set up was he took it. It was who did it? Was it Gabe? One of them took it twice. They kept doing it so they had more time with it. I think it was Gabe. Gabe could use his up to 5, down to 5. So Rome took the very first one, and Gabe took it all the way down to what
Yes.
5 to use it.
His was expired.
So he had to use it. But it's how you use it. The Steeler vote.
Yes.
But Rome was so. Let me tell you something. Let's be real.
Stealth in a stealth
First of all,
manner.
After you talk to, if I was so after you talk to me like that, I don't care what nobody say. I'm voting you out. I'm just waiting for the opportunity where I can vote you out. And since I know you don't have anything because you're already burned through it, I'm sitting there with Genevieve saying, "Look, he said throw you under the bus. So whenever opportunity presents itself, let's vote him out." Pettiness. You gotta have a certain teaspoon of petty in your life to be successful at Survivor. If you can't be petty, I'm gonna tell you don't go on the show.
I agree. Okay, we need to know that people, you gotta be petty to go on Survivor. Do not forget that. Okay.
gotta be a little petty.
Tiffany, you did mention it. Tiffany, you mentioned the immunity challenge. We get to the immunity challenge, but before we get into everything, Gata shows up to the immunity challenge with their chickens. Okay, and Jeff is kind of like, are you guys like all one tribe? Do you not leave them alone? Like, do you
These
feel
your
like
babies.
you gotta bring these are your babies, one happy family? And then, Sam is like, no, we would like to cut a deal. And he's like, cut a deal? These are big chickens. Like these chickens can probably feed you for a very long time. Okay, but they say, hey, we don't want to kill the chickens. We would love to exchange them for some eggs. 24 eggs at that. Jeff is like, I like a bargain, I like a good deal. But Jeff is like, I'll give you, 15. Sam says 20. Jeff says 18. So they do meet on 18 for the eggs. Now, do you think it was smart for them to give away those chickens? Do you think it was smart for them not to kill those chickens? Those are my 2 questions I have for you guys to answer.
Before you answer that, though, is it true that sometimes when people don't when they get these chickens and they don't want to kill them, that they let them run around the island?
I've never seen a chicken. So Fiji is made up of multiple islands, and I've never. So they had to go get the chickens from somewhere. Those chickens are not indigenous to our island, so I've never seen a chicken on our island. And it's like when you go on the island, it's rock cliffs. You only see like the island part of it that's in front, but you gotta go 10 feet back and you gotta go straight up a rock cliff. So ain't no chicken gonna live here. There are birds that live there that are nocturnal that come out at nighttime. But
So, what do you think about them returning those chickens to Jeff?
here's the thing about bringing different people in from different places around the world. In the summertime, I spent time with my grandfather where they had chickens, hogs, outside getting dirty. First of all, the reason why the chickens keep breaking the eggs, because y'all kept them in that little basket. All you had to do is spread them out, and you'd have been good to go. Chickens do not stay in a little bitty coop and gonna lay and not step on something. First thing. Second of it, I'm not a vegetarian, so I'm eating chicken. For those
I was
that
gonna say,
don't
because
want
we
to
black, we eating the damn chicken. We eating that damn chicken. I don't care. I would have been like, I'm not giving this back. So all this chicken's for me. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I mean, we could
Figure
have
it
gave
out.
back 2 chickens, but we gonna take this one chicken and rotisserie his ass.
hold on, but these chicken. See, here's the funny
Put 'em
part
on
about
the
the chicken. Here's what I didn't get about the eggs. Where are you gonna keep the eggs at? Eggs don't
That's a
last
good
that
question.
long. So you got 18
You can
eggs.
keep them out in the heat like that. Yeah.
Even if you
That's
boil
Bury
the
him in the
eggs.
sand. You can
The
bury him
sand
in the
is-
sand. Sand
That,
is cold. Deep down up underneath there, it's cold.
You in a tropical island, you're gonna die. You're gonna die.
Tell her again, Abraham.
I mean-
You were there. Tell her.
There's
Tell
no way
her
to
again.
there's nowhere to keep these eggs from not getting hot. And here's the problem. Who want
I don't
5
want it, though.
eggs? You gonna eat them all at one time? You gonna put them in a pot, ball them all up, and say, "Okay, we eat eggs all day."
Well, they could boil them all. Yeah.
I would have boiled the eggs and made
They could boil them, and then I have a boiled egg for breakfast, and 2 boiled eggs for lunch, and then 3 boiled eggs for dinner. Mm-hmm. And I have a boiled egg.
Have you ever
tomorrow.
left a boiled
And be
egg
farting
out in
all over the
outside?
place.
Yeah. Have you ever left a boiled egg just out on the cabinet or
Yeah,
something?
Okay, I'll quit. I don't know what they're gonna do at 15.
Abraham, you win. We can't win. We can't win
I don't
this because
know.
all
I
we
don't
had
know.
to do, we only had to push a button and request for eggs. So we out of this one. But we get
storage
to
room, Big Brother, can
Yes.
we get some more eggs, please? Can we get
Please.
brown eggs this time, organic, please? Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you so
your
much.
eggs are in the storage room.
Oh, thank you, Big Brother.
Thank you, Big
so
Brother.
yeah, we're
That's how
out
it
of
works.
this one.
We spoil, okay?
Yes. So
The
the
house of
mini challenge.
luxury.
The mini challenge, they have to drag a heavy bag of coconuts through the sand, and then they have to, at the end, throw these sandbags, to knock over a puzzle. But before they even get the first set of sandbags, they have to use a stick with a knife on it or whatever, a machete, whatever you want to call it, and cut the thing down. Now, the rope, okay? Now, Tiku is doing great. The Blue Tribe, Lava is doing great, okay? We get to the Yellow Tribe, Gotta Tribe, and Andy decides he's going to cut the rope backwards. The knife is back. The blade is backwards, and he does this for a very long time. And then his team is like, "The blade is backwards," and Andy starts going crazy. But I don't understand why it took Andy so long to cut this rope compared to everybody else. Did I miss something? Because he's definitely not. He's very strong.
Here's where the live feed help out on Big Brother. You can see exactly what people are doing. On Survivor, it probably was longer, and they just couldn't fit it in there to make it look better.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
I mean, Jeff said he was taking a long time.
Volunteering on Survivor could be detrimental to your game. So think about it. Sam is taller. Sam is more athletic. Why didn't he cut the wire? It wasn't physically challenging. All you had to do was go up there and cut it. But you don't want to do it. You
It
want
don't
somebody
seem
else
like
to do
all
it.
you had to do was go up there and cut it, though.
It really. I mean,
the way Andy was doing it, it seemed like it took some skill.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it was that hard.
AI research assistant. What does Sam do? Sam is hold on, I got their bios right here in front of me. Sam is a sports reporter, so I'm pretty sure he played sports. Somewhere
he
in
could've
there,
cut that rope down.
he could have went in there, cut the rope down versus sitting back. But if you sit back and comment,
But-
it puts you in a better position to vote somebody out.
Yes, and also if you take the lead, it kind of makes it, maybe that creates a little animosity, like, oh, you think you're better than me? You always got to do something. Maybe Sam's trying to get that threat level off of him. They were already talking about him and Sierra being a thing. Maybe he's like, I just want to act like, don't see me.
Well, we see how that worked out for him.
Oh, I agree with that. Now, we get to the puzzle part of the challenge. And, you know, Tiku, I'm going to say this now. They end up, Tuku, thank you. Tuku ends up doing well. The blue tribe ends up, you know, finishing their puzzle, knocking it down, putting it up. They finish. They get first. I'm going to cut to Lava tribe, the red tribe. They knocked down all their puzzles, but because I think it was like 3 of their puzzle pieces were still touching the board, they couldn't move on until they got that off. And the only person that can knock that off with the strength is Soul. He's the only one that could throw hard enough to probably knock it off, because, you know, unless, I'm sorry, I forgot, the icon, the Rome could have done it, but Rome did not step up and do it. So Soul ends up doing it. But keep in mind, Gata catches up. And now Gata is at the same level, knocking down the puzzle at the same time. And then now they're both building their puzzles at the exact same time. I will say this. Rachel, once again, to me, I'm going to keep saying this, is a puzzle master. She's really good with the puzzles on Gata Tribe.
Here's
Go
the thing
ahead.
about
You want to
puzzles.
say something?
We all practice puzzles at home before we come out there. The problem is when you get out in the game, you don't realize the weight of the puzzle pieces, and you're exhausted. So if you go back and look at it, I know you should ate them chicken. If you go and look at Saul in that video, just look at that part, you will see how exhausted he is on the way he goes to pick the sandbags up, because they're not that big. But the funny part to me about it is when the first group threw the sandbags and the wall didn't move. I was like,
yes, hard too. Like, boom, I know that's gonna fall, and it didn't.
how heavy are those blocks?
But their first throw on the yellow tribe, that it was like 4 blocks came tumbling down.
And Sam
like,
threw that. And Sam threw that.
Yeah, Sam should have chopped that rope. He could have been Paul Bunyan on that rope.
See, that's how you look at people. Like, wait a minute, if you could throw that, you could did this. But it's.
Yeah.
I love the challenges. If nothing else about Survivor, that's one of the things that I love, the competition of the challenges. But Jeff don't tell you the weight or nothing, and he don't tell you what it's going to feel like until you get to the end of it. And we don't see it on. Sometimes we don't see it on TV, how exhausted somebody is after a challenge. And you're like, why are you not throwing harder? Oh, Rome was done. Rome should have got him a little short haircut before he came out there, or trimmed that beard down or something, but we'll let that one go.
I agree. So, it comes down to the yellow and the red tribe. And it really comes down to like the final piece. I also want to shout out, because Tiffany said this while we're watching. She said, it's Saul falling for me on the way back to tag their team in for winning.
He almost cost them that win, because he was on the ground.
Them that win. Yeah. It was very intense, but unfortunately the yellow tribe does loses. Gata tribe loses, which also means they don't have their Flynn. So once again, like we were talking about, Abraham, I don't know what they're going to do with those eggs now that they have, those 18 eggs.
Here's a crazy thought.
Put them on a pan and fry them in the sun.
It ain't that hot. What?
Oh, well then those eggs are making.
Abraham's like this. It ain't that hot, Tiffany. The sand is hot. Ain't nothing. Everything we're thinking at home, he's letting us know you can't do. So we appreciate it, because we trying to be a big brother. We're like, psh.
Yeah. I don't want you to go to medical. That's where you're heading at. Here's the funny part about taking the Flint. If you know how to light a fire, guess what's gonna be there when you get back? Embers from the fire. So why would you feel? Why would taking your Flint make a difference? You already got a lit. I'm sorry, I said ambers. I meant ashes. What we used to have back in the days. You got ashes, hot coals. All you got to do is say, hey, when I come back, just blow on the hot coals. So when you taking the Flint, I'm looking like,
fire.
Yeah, who in the world? There's an episode in 41 where Nasir is teaching. What's my man name? That's I can't remember. But he's teaching him how to light a fire. And I'm thinking to myself, how are you teaching him something and there's a fire lit right next to him and all you're doing is blowing in the coconut husk? What teaching is that? Just do the same thing. So it's wild to say that he's going to take the Flint. I think we could take that out of Survivor because it really doesn't impact. It doesn't do anything if you know how to light a fire. And you never turn back and say, while Rome is eating coconut, you got a fire, you can boil water. You ain't catching no fish.
Got it. Okay.
What about them with that fish net? And I was like, just fold the net in half so you don't have to make it so long and catch all this seaweed. Just make the net smaller and cover it. I was just like, oh God.
It was very chaos to watch. I
I'm
was
talking
very
crap
stressed.
like I fished with a net before, but
Yeah.
if it was too long, then fold it in half.
The Fijians, excellent fishermen. I seen a Fijian take a fish out the ocean, season it with some vegetables or whatever, some of the salt water, and cook it on the fire. I was like, we ain't gonna never get this right. Here's the funny part about it is, being in the ocean is different than being in a pool, because that water that's at that beach is constantly moving. It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
So I'll applaud them for walking out there, because I wasn't even going out there to try.
In the water? You wasn't messing with that water?
I can swim, but that's the ocean. And that undercurrent is not, it's going to pull you back and forth. You only eating coconut. The first night we had one crab leg from a crab that we caught. I ain't got enough strength to be in the ocean and do a challenge. I got to make a decision in my life, and that wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
We're at the Yellow Tribe. Andy comes up with this plan that he is going to work with Rachel and Anika. He's going to make it seem like they're in an alliance thing. Thank you. Oh my God. Rachel and Annika, they are going to be working together in this alliance. He's coming up with this great plan. I know. But it's not that, Abraham. Welcome to the Royalty Podcast. I say everything wrong, okay? So I apologize. So please forgive me. I'm so sorry.
Saying immunity correct this season.
It took me that long. But Annika and Rachel are like, sure, we'll work with you, Andy. They're also laughing in his face, like making him think that they're going to work with him when they know they're going to vote him out. So Andy's like, this is a great plan, because he wants to be able to take this information and tell Sam and, use it against, Annika, because he wants to get out Annika badly. Okay. What do you guys think about this? Tiff? Abraham, what you guys think? Do you think this move that Andy was doing made sense? Like, I didn't really understand what he was trying to do here.
I'll tell you what I liked. I liked that Andy came up with a plan and he tested it out. He wanted to see if he could feed Annika and Rachel some pity party information about him being left out and not knowing anything. He played dumb. He played dumb and clueless and made them think that he felt like he didn't have a home, and I just going to pretend to them like I want to work with them and see if they eat this, if they take this bait. He baited them, and in the hopes of them thinking that he's genuine and fake coming up with a plan and a name for him, who he was thinking, I bet they'll give me Sam. And he goes back, and lo and behold, here they come. Well, you know what? We thought about it, and we'll take you up on that. And, we think you should vote Sam. And he plays it I love the way he played it. He was true to the character that they thought that he was. And the whole time, it was his plan. So I liked to see him strategize and execute and be right in his theory about what they would come back with.
Y'all remember
If
John
nothing-
Those
Lovett?
glasses help.
You remember John Lovett from the first vote out? Remember John Lovett was the first
Yes,
one voted out?
yes. This
He was the
season,
first-
yes,
he was the first one voted
I
out on the
do.
tribe.
Yeah.
The one that Andy said
he was the
doing the
one that
challenge.
Andy
Yeah,
was.
the one Andy threw under the bus. Yeah.
Yes.
He at home mad right now.
Oh shit. Damn,
like-
you're right. Because Andy put on those glasses and a whole different Andy came out. I was like, oh, okay. Sam and Sierra have a conversation. Sam wants to get rid of, Annika, and Sierra doesn't want that, because she's like, I am working with these ladies. We have an alliance together. We need to get rid of Andy, because she does not still feel comfortable with Andy. We get to the tribe, guys. I still don't know how this is going to go. There's no, crazy stuff before tribe, but we get the tribe, and what does Messy Jeff ask? What's going on?
Well, what do you think, though, Abraham, about Andy's plan that he hatched and Sierra wanting to vote Andy and Sam wanting to vote Annika.
So when we go out there, the first thing they tell you, it has to be recorded. If it don't be recorded, it never happened. So there's either a major group with 2 people that are with you at all times, or there may be a single person with 1 camera. Whoever recorded Andy has made Andy look like a survivor genius. Because you have to have all those little narrated pieces fit in to that storyline. And he literally was like, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to say this right here. When I go back over here, it's going to say this right here. They thought they got me, but I got them. I was like, who captured all this information here? Because everything had to fit. And they're always taping you, but that don't mean they get a good story. This episode made Andy like he was a mastermind.
It is.
And I was like, this was the same individual I would have voted out for fear he was going to chop me up with a machete on the first episode. I was like, that dude crazy. we was
that part.
We was sitting back talking about how did he get through the psyche valve? Because there's no way he should have got.
We said the same thing, and I actually said just a couple of episodes ago. I said, "Is this all like a facade? Like, is this an act? Like, maybe Andy is not like what we think we are. I think this. Like, I could see him making it to the end and being like." Standing up and giving like this proper speech and being like, so just to let you guys know, that's actually not how I really am. Like, I could see him catfishing all of us at this point.
He was kind of trying to come off as an intellectual this episode.
Okay.
Look at Mary. If you go back and listen to Mary Ann's speech that won her $1 million, we was like, oh, Mary Ann just go happy-go-lucky person. She gave that speech. I was like, well, Mike, you out of luck this time. If Mike was on a different season, he would have won. Mary Ann stood up and started talking. I was like, oh, shit, you out of luck now. But here's the thing. I like to give production credit where they do some good jobs at. And Andy and Genevieve are the winners of Survivor 1 and 2. If they went to vote right now and they spoke, I think they will be the ones, they'll be hard to beat. I don't want to see them two even connect on a merge and come together. Because when you go to Tribal, you really want to slap Jeff off that seat. Because, one, you tired, you hungry, and your concentration is off. You don't have your full wits about yourself, so you don't want to say too much, but you don't know what not to say because you can't stop yourself. And I think Andy almost fell into that trap because he said a couple things, and I was like, man, just go ahead and ease back in your corner, guy. You already did your work.
He almost kind of got cocky a little bit. Like, he started patting himself on the back about where he started and where he is now. And it's like,
Right.
Well, it's interesting because before they got to Tribal tonight, Sam is starting to talk about his immunity idol that he has that expires tonight's Tribal, but he doesn't want to play. He doesn't know if he should play it or not, whatever, because Andy doesn't know that he has it. And then he says, should I just get rid of Andy? And I'm like, oh, crap. And then we get to tonight's Tribal, and Andy's like, yeah, because, from where I started to where I am right now, I said, oh, shoot, you got to, and then to where you started to where you at right now to where you going to be tomorrow might be 3 different places.
Just like, look, Andy looked like a mastermind, but I wouldn't close both eyes on him. I'd be like,
okay, because Annika was looking like this. She's like, I got this under control. All of them. But it was a very interesting tribe. Like, what's your guys' takeaway from the tribe? I know Andy did great. I mean, Andy had those glasses on. I'm telling you, when he put those glasses on, he's a whole nother person because he was over there just not sounding crazy to me.
Well, one thing he said that was crazy, he goes, he thinks his tribe is less concerned about how he balances on a beam and how he performs cuts a rope and how he performs, but it more important and more focused on what's on the inside. And he likes what he sees. And I'm like, that ain't it. That ain't it. And nobody give a damn about what you got going on the inside. The only thing that matters is what's on the outside. What can you do for this tribe?
Jeff don't correct you because he's trying to get some good information out of you. He's trying to stir the pot.
Okay. This is his job. I don't know if there's anything else I can really call out about this tribe. I know, they get to the voting. I forgot that Annika does not have her vote. I forgot about that. So, now it's only 4 people voting. I don't know how this trial was going to go, but I was very shocked to see When Jeff came back and said, "Does anyone have an immunity idol?"
A what?
And I'm sorry, an immunity idol.
Put it in your pocket, take it home. That's a good keepsake.
Yeah. And Sam does not play it. And there's 3 votes for Annika, and there is 1 vote for Andy, and Annika goes home. And let me tell you something. I don't think I've seen someone in a very long time in Survivor history sit there for a long second processing, stands up, still looking at everybody, still trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
I thought she was going to swing on somebody.
I thought she was going to swing on Sierra, to be honest. I thought Sierra was in trouble. I thought when she went to go get that torch, I was waiting for her to throw that torch on them.
I think after tonight, they might want to reconsider if they want to have people walking with a torch of fire on
or
their
behind
hands.
them. Or behind them.
Yeah, go get your torch from over there where Jeff is standing and then just give it to Jeff. Don't get it from behind me.
Correct. So, and she was just kind of like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, she was like, who did it? What? Like, are you serious? Like, she couldn't believe it. Can I be honest? I couldn't believe it either. I was very shocked too.
Can I be honest? I love a good blindside. Oh man, it's just because they don't know it's coming. But here's the thing: we got assigned seats in tribal. We don't get to sit where we want to. No, they come in and say you got to sit.
You heard
right
that
here.
first. That's T. We have never knew that.
It's assigned seats.
Well, we have assigned seats on Big Brother.
Yeah.
They tell us where to sit during eviction night.
And here's how you know somebody truly got blindside. When you want to get up and choke the person out that's supposed to be with you. And
damn,
that little walk down that little thing is dark, but the camera people are all back there. But you're right. If she'd have turned around, just hauled off and started slapping somebody or cursing them out, I'd be like, man, this is a great episode right here. Because at the end of the day, don't you want to see that on Survivor? You want to see somebody not take that blind side laying down. You want to see somebody be like,
I don't think they should do though.
I do want to see them let it out. Like, you dirty bitch, you.
I would have been like, I don't trust you. And just so you guys know, don't trust Sierra. Fuck her. That's what I would have thought she was going to do. But I do want to say this. I love that she turned around and was just like, nah. Like, she didn't even want to say nothing to you motherfuckers.
Before she gets there, she looks at them and she goes, because like she gets her torch, then she's walking, then she stops and she turns around and she looks and she says, who owned this?
Sam.
And wait a minute, never. It was 3 of us. It was 3 votes. That's
Thank
Andy.
you.
Andy say, I'm not gonna.
so.
They act like she going to jury or something. Sam, Andy was like, wait a minute. It was 3 votes. Sam couldn't wait. Who owned this? I did that. It was me. Well, it's not jury. You know, nobody.
Right.
You're not getting any credit for this.
Annika was reading the contract in her mind. And the HR stuff. She was like, what can I say to these fools that I'm not going to get in trouble for? Because we still, in the back of our mind, we still got to say, hey, I ain't going to mess my little bit of money up by cussing somebody out. Because in that moment, you really want to slap somebody. I'm going to tell you like this right here. I waited on the pier for the next person to come, and they was going to be out of my tribe. I was going to choke shit out their ass because I was mad as hell. Because all you do when you go back is you have time to think about it. And you just replay it over. Those 2 days that it takes for the next person to come can't come soon enough. And you're like, I hope it's somebody from my tribe.
Damn.
I hope y'all vote out all their asses. Xander, all of them. I was sitting there. On that dock.
Come on home. Come on over here with me.
I was sitting there waiting on them. I said, well, when they come, I hope they got something good for me because I'm about to get them some business. Because you got time to sit back and think about it. So as we saw her emotions as she left, unfortunately, they're going to be worse when she goes back over and she goes back over to the island. The good thing about it is there's some people over there already. That's the one good thing about it. There's somebody over there that she can talk to that got voted out before her. But you want to play to win. Nobody comes on there to get voted out, even though everybody has to be voted out. But I'm waiting for the day somebody just turn around and say, oh, so you just going to lie to my face and just jump over there, just fly over there and hit somebody in the eye. Because I've been like,
I think Survivor has the best sportsmanship for eviction because Big Brother can get ugly.
Big Brother can get ugly.
Yeah. What you say about my nephew?
Yeah.
What?
He doesn't have anyone to look up to.
Period.
I saw that episode. I said,
Kylan. I want that as my ringtone. Kylan.
But make
took
his
that personal.
ringtone. He don't call you though.
Yeah. Okay, well, Annika goes out, and she did the best that she could. What do you guys think? Well, who do you think is next? Like, what's your final thoughts?
Well, the teaser said that Merge is coming up next. So that kind of reshuffles the deck.
Yeah.
That's going to reshuffle the deck.
does.
But it also helps out Rome. Also helps Tiana.
I know. That's why he was crying. That's why he was crying this episode, because he knew his ass was next. He knew he was next.
No, you know
if they
what's
would
going to
have lost,
happen?
he knew he was next.
They're going to do that crazy thing where they merge, but one person's not going to make it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So they merge, but they're not really going to merge next week. So we got one more person that's going to have to leave. So the first group never meets the second group. So everybody that gets voted on the first group, they're going to be gone from the island by the time the next group get back. Because they only want the people that's going to be in the jury together. So, and that's what's crazy about Survivor. That first group will always be more cohesive with each other because they spend more time with each other. Yeah. Versus the second group. We only know you once you get back to the States. Back to the States. But I don't want to be that bubble person either. So you're going to change your game around. The jury doesn't
live together?
The jury does, not the pre-jury.
Okay.
So the first 7, we all go home. It used to be in Survivor where they used to go on other trips and stuff, but the pandemic stopped all that. And then CBS said they didn't have no money. But now we flew back. So we flew back. We're back. They're still filming. And then once you get back, you meet the other part of the cast. Because Deshaun, I didn't meet Deshaun until after the season aired, or because he was in LA, and I flew out to LA. I didn't meet Danny until Danny went on the challenge.
The challenge with me.
Yeah, I didn't meet Danny in person until maybe the challenge. No.
Wow.
Yeah, no, the challenge. I went to Dallas.
Wow.
I'm saying y'all were on the same season.
No, I met him before that. Bryce and him had an event, and I went up to the event, and that's when we met in person.
But you didn't meet him while y'all were filming on the show. Y'all didn't get to talk, get to know. I know y'all saw each other.
I talked so much trash about Danny. I said, that's got to be the laziest joker ever. Because the way it was set up was, we was on a pandemic, so we spent 2 weeks in a resort. So we could come out in the morning and in the afternoon and walk in a circle for an hour. Man, Danny was dragging his feet. I said, this dude is lazy. I can't even work with this guy. He just straight lazy. Because at that time, we didn't know what tribe any of us was going to be on. So I used to talk trash about him. But we don't meet each other.
Was it strategy? Or was that him?
You know what? I didn't know he was an ex-football player. That wouldn't stop me from talking trash about him. But you don't know any of the players. What you do is you're trying to dissect who you can beat. So Nasir, I figured was going to give me some problems. Danny was going to give me some problems. Brad, even though he was tall, he had a scar in his knee that I knew he had knee surgery. So I know he wasn't going all out. JD, he was a little guy. He's getting tossed over. And then you kind of just break down the players. So every day I went outside, or I sat in my room with binoculars, and I looked at the crew, and I looked at players. I was like, and I kind of said, okay, who would be a good player physically for the physical challenges? And JD came outside in the summertime wearing his drip. Dude, you're going to die. I don't know who approved your wardrobe, but it's too hot in this weather for that.
It's interesting you guys get to have that like bird's eye view of each other before playing with each other. We never see each other until we are on the stage with Julie. Never. We don't know. You don't even know. I thought my mama might be in the house with me. You don't know who is going to show up at that house. Like, because sometimes on Big Brother, they bring in people who you may know, or you don't know because you can't tell anybody. So you don't know you don't get to assess your competition until the day you walk into the house and start playing the game. So it's interesting that you guys get to see each other before.
We were a little unique because we had to spend COVID time together. But normally what happens is you fly from LA, you go to Fiji, and what we do is a prep week. That's where you see all the promo stuff and you see the wardrobe stuff because they're doing all the filming. We do all our podcasts and stuff. So you can see them, but you can't talk to them. We do that too,
but we're sequestered. We do that too, but we don't do it together. I got a hotel room and my peephole is taped up. I can't look out of it. My door is taped from the outside. If I open my door and that tape comes off, I am ejected and sent back home. Like, I do my press, but I'm riding a car by myself with my handler. No other cast person rides with me. The challenge
we're blindfolded.
The challenge, we see each other. We ride in the car. We yelling at it. We talking to each other off the balcony. We all in the same hotel, but we could talk off the balcony. It's probably very Survivor-like. I guess, but the challenge was very open. It's
we don't get no liquor.
Okay. I'm gonna try to
look. Y'all seem like y'all have. It looked like it was a high school party. Like everybody was in there to party. A couple people was gonna do some work.
Well, you mean on Big Brother?
No, on the challenge.
It depends. Because my first season and my second season was different. It was two different, and that's another thing about the challenge. It was two different production companies. So like, or handling companies. So it was never. But Big Brother always has the same team. The challenge, our first team was. I almost never wanted to go back again. The second team was a lot better. It just depends on who you get. They have so many different teams.
They got the same core group of personnel that handle us. But I do for Andy, because one day me and Andy gonna cross paths. The one thing I will say, I don't know how Big Brother does it. Even though we may talk about the players on the show, they also provide during the show people to talk to, therapists and stuff that are on the island with us. So we had 2 different therapists on the island doing the show, and then you have access to them a year after the show. I think that your show was iconic. I think that for social media and people that are behind keyboards, some people read stuff and take it personal. I just never took it personal because I don't know you. Now, if you meet me in the streets and say something crazy, that's a different story. But I don't know you. So there's nothing you can say on a keyboard that's going to be like, I lied. There's a couple times I was typing some stuff and I said, nah, it ain't worth it. But it's one of those things. It's still a game, and I want people to understand that. When you look at us even on the podcast, this is still just a game. Don't take it personal. I am going to tell you, I think Andy might be crazy, but I'm also going to tell you, I know they got therapists there. I know they're going to give him access. Even if he didn't need therapy, he's going to get some free therapy. And sometimes it's hard. Annika, it's somebody there is going to meet her that she can talk to. And when I got voted out, man, I ran back there and jumped into this dude. What's his name? I think his name was Bob. I was so happy just so I could move around and talk freely. Then I realized I got voted out. I was like, oh, man, this is trash. But it's a great experience, but it also can be a hard experience. But it's this amazing thing. You know, I get to meet people like yourself that our paths may have never crossed. So to be able to meet people and to talk to different people, and then to see how people react to. Sometimes I kind of sit back and watch you, like Big D. If I'm at somewhere, or Tiffany, if I'm somewhere, I kind of sit back and see how people approach y'all. And
I know you always sitting back. I'm always catching you sitting back somewhere, and I'm like, what the?
Because I be trying to duck out on
keep my eye on you. I know you too. That's why we keep my eye on you.
We got some different people in our community. I'll be like,
I'll be like, I get that.
Here you go. Let me sign this and keep it moving.
Yes, seriously. I'm gonna be quiet, but.
All right.
Look,
you know,
hold on. So we'll do that on camera because it's a whole different other story.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wait, is this something we can share? Because I always
that's a whole different story.
Okay. Oh, guys, listen. Abraham, where can everyone follow you at? And please give us all the information so they know where to come and check you out at.
On IG, you can find me at Abraham_99_99. If you want to tune into the podcast, it's Survivor Now Podcast. We're out there on YouTube. We're on Instagram. Feel free to hit me up. If you got questions about Survivor, how do I get on the show? Drop me a DM. I'll tell you, my advice on how I did it. It's also it's a pretty tight community within the community. So just let us know. If you see me out somewhere, I'm always approachable. Come by, say hi.
All right. Are you going to any of the Bryson Win parties?
I'll be at the Bryson Win season finale in New York. What is it, December 18th? I think it's on the 18th.
Oh, okay. So I'll see you then. Okay,
Back in New
perfect.
York.
I'll see you then.
Thanks for joining us, Abraham.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Guys, remember to like and
guys.
subscribe.
I'm sorry, I'll be down in the Tiffany, what is it called this year? It's in Orlando. It's Over the Edge.
Over the Edge.
Charity
Over the
event.
Edge.
My charity for this
Yes.
year is St. Jude's Hospital for Kids.
Oh, I love that. Okay, good. Okay, make sure you guys donate too. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, comment. Until next week, thank you guys so much for joining us. Tiffany, you're always amazing as always. And Abraham, I can't wait to see you soon, brother. All right?
Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys.